Have you ever heard someone say, "How do I know who to vote for?" Or "How do I make sure I'm voting for someone who agrees with me?" Many people feel overwhelmed by all the noise during election season and have trouble figuring out how to vote in a way that supports their opinions on issues. I'm Steve Buckingham, Chair of the Unitarian Universalist Legislative Ministry of Maryland, and we help people participate in our democracy and make an impact on how our country is governed. In this video, we'll be talking about how to decide what you want your elected officials to do and how to find out which ones are likely to work in the direction that you want the country to go. First, let's talk about perfection and purity. Do you know anyone who agrees with you on everything? If you think about it, you'll have a hard time identifying someone who's in complete agreement with you on politics, economics, foreign policy, individual rights and responsibilities, or even the best sports team, favorite food, or where to shop. We have to admit that people are unique, and you will be very disappointed if you insist that elected officials say and do everything you want them to. So let's avoid imposing a test of purity on candidates for office and stop insisting that they perfectly represent your interests or desires. We also need to remember that an election is a group activity. You are not the only one voting, and candidates have to appeal to large numbers of voters. It is the collective judgment of the group that determines who wins, not individual opinions. While people often say that they don't want to vote for the lesser of two evils, their choices will always be between imperfect human beings with opinions that match theirs to a greater or lesser degree. Differences of opinion are inevitable, and we need to accept that our collective choices will not satisfy everyone. So let's stop seeking a perfect alignment with our personal views and labeling those with opposing views as evil. Elections, like the rest of life, are imperfect, so our job is to cast our votes along with others, recognizing that we're going to find the person that the majority supports. So how do we decide between and among candidates? Let me suggest that we need to start with deciding what issues we believe are important. For every issue, there are ideas on what actions are needed and what role the government should play. These ideas are policies and are based on what values people hold. For example, someone who wants the government to be a stable constitutional republic holds democratic values such as believing in the right of people to have a say in how their government is run, and that representatives should be accountable to those who elected them. Likewise, someone who believes in letting business operate with little government regulation holds such capitalist views as believing that free markets make the best economic decisions and that government should only regulate in order to keep business conduct honest. Sometimes policies and values come into conflict, and it's helpful to know which values you think should take priority in specific situations. For example, is it more important for democracy that officials are accountable to the people rather than political donors, even if it means limiting what people or businesses can donate to candidates? So think about what issues you care about most: employment, healthcare, immigration, safety, gun violence, climate change, and so forth. Then examine these values to identify what underlying values are advanced by your positions on the issues. You'll notice that I didn't mention political parties. While many people see their personal identity is linked to a particular party, the policies and values supported by each party have changed many times over the years. And it's more important to look at the policies supported by the candidates in a particular election year to see how much they coincide with your own. The next step is to look at the candidates to see what issues they emphasize and how they match up with your issues and opinions. There are great online sites that provide unbiased information on candidates in any election. First is the official U.S. government website that provides something called Decide Who to Vote For at usa.gov/voter-research. In addition, the following groups also ask candidates their opinions on issues and report their unedited responses. The League of Women Voters has the Vote 411 project, which provides state-by-state voters' guides at vote411.org/ballot. Ballotpedia also provides information on candidates and survey responses at ballotpedia.org. At the very least, the candidates you support should share your democratic values, those that encourage the participation of average people in making decisions, guarantee our rights to speak, assemble, and protest government actions, and preserve institutions that prevent any person or group from enriching themselves or monopolizing power. Anything less could endanger our precious republic. That's all there is to it. Like parenting, there are no educational requirements to vote. Since you can read objective information about candidates online, you can compare their positions with your own and decide who most closely reflects your values. No candidate will be perfect, but none of us are. And we owe it to ourselves to find those that best represent us from among those that are running for office. If you're looking for more tips on voting, then be sure to like us below and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thank you.